Okay. So I've eaten and took a shower and mostly done some thinking because thinking is very required heavily right now. I will now, since it's so late, I will try to be concise. But we're dealing with many new subjects that are linked to. Suddenly they link together. These are subjects that I've spoken about in the past in a couple of years. But many of the things that I've said. Also as well in this channel, but of course in other previous channels where I spoke. Things. Many things stay disconnected, as pieces of. As not more than pieces, part of a puzzle that are disconnected from the rest of the puzzle and wait for its day, and so now I think it's even though I still haven't seen this thing under the microscope and I didn't test its abilities. I'm waiting for to have a good time to spend substantial a couple of hours, so the reaction will be meaningful. We will know from that. It takes some time for the reaction to happen, and for the enriched candles. Even without watching under the microscope, I think that many things are kind of start to assemble or attach together. And of course, I might be wrong. Again, or just partially correct, but I want to actually do a little update, and I will speak about new things that I haven't spoken about them for quite a while. But it's a good opportunity to do it now. I should also. And before that, I want to say something general, very general with regards to curses like plagues and the voodoo stuff. And one of the things that I've learned, as opposed to how people try to portray me, and by misunderstanding things that I've said. One of the things that I've learned from God very, very quickly at the beginning of my way. Is that it's not my place to actually put a curse on specific people or named people. It's not the way that the prophet work. Even though there are examples of such cases, but from the Bible and so, but it's something that it's for many reasons it's not it's improper, because if I have a problem with a specific person, other people should. If this person treats me unfair, other people should intervene. And if they don't intervene, then I have a problem with them as well. That's the basic gist of it. And in a more general way, people are getting punished in this world. Not the next world is something different, because then God is the ultimate judge and he knows all these circumstances. But on this world, when there is a need to actually put a curse or a blessing on someone, it's only because they've demonstrated some kind of behavior. So the curse only needs to be to specify a behavior or something or a state that the person has reached. No, other identification parameters, but are not that of specific person, but of a species or thing like that. And if you want to punish a person without him or her showing particularly shown nasty behaviors, then maybe there is the problem with you. You need to be very careful with how you it's serious stuff. It's not voodoo. It's serious stuff. I need to be very careful with what I do. I don't just play with stuff and put curses on people. I treat it with a lot of seriousness. Even though from time to time I'm wrong, and I trust God that even if I'm wrong, it will not be too critical, and that I can fix myself, correct myself. So I'm very tired, so I'll do it quickly, even though it's a lot of stuff. I've spoken about a lot in the past about the issue. I call them kfilim. It's like a life form. I speculated a lot about it. I call them kfilim, and it's because that's in Hebrew it means clones, and that's the way that the Israeli intelligence treat. Use them for more very heavily, it's clones. I speculated they are synthetic, and it was pretty obvious that, I mean, throughout my life, many people in Israel, I mean, thought that I am one of these, and they like treated me like garbage, because that's the way they treat those people, like garbage. And it was all, I mean, the issue of the Titans couldn't explain to me how, I mean, it's possible that, I mean, there is such a widespread behavior in Israel of subjugation of like other species, and like a whole method, and psychological method, and logistical method, and like, I mean, they're all, I mean, they have the secret like organization, or, I mean, you know, like secret habit, which, I mean, dominates their world, like the slave trade, and I mean, and this is inconsistent with, I mean, another theory of mine, that, I mean, the male Titans were actually, I mean, they died, I mean, during the 70s, and they were eaten, like the young ones, and the old ones are, I mean, perhaps they're still alive, but, I mean, they are reclusive, and, I mean, they are not part of Israel. But maybe they do not live in Israel at all, and certainly they are not part of like the Israeli, like, I mean, power struggles, things like that. And so they're out of the picture, and they can't like, and they also do not have like sex or any kind of relationship with the female Titans. So, I mean, you could argue that, I mean, the whole like subjugation method and psychological method is performed on the females, and I've said, and that's one of the things that I argued even today. I've said that it's a horrible crime against humanity. But there's a difference between how they use, how they use and how they treat females and males. I mean, there are specific, like, I mean, things that they do only to males, which was very, I mean, obvious to me. And these are not things that Israelis remember from the 70s. I mean, they do it now. So all this, I mean, leads us to, I mean, and many other things that I do not want to like deal with now, leads us to, I mean, to think that actually there is another like species, synthetic species, which I call it, like, I call them like the clones, and they are slaves, and, I mean, people that think that I'm one of them, and they treat me with, I mean, the same method, which is to be treated like garbage. I reached this conclusion a long time ago, but I didn't understand how they, I mean, where did they come from? Like, from another planet, or like, what's the, the origin story was very murky here, but now I understand that indeed the origin is murky, and probably the origin is the stuff, like the I mean, the juice that I prepare today, and it's, I mean, probably they are made of this thing, and also from like Neros. And I actually suspect now that it's not made of Neros exactly. I suspect it's actually made of things that look like Neros. It's a huge gamble. I mean, we don't have a microscope, but I wouldn't be surprised to see like that they're actually not yellow, but more like, I mean, red. I mean, that they have like different colors, because I've seen it under the microscope very, very rarely. So maybe the stuff, like, I don't know, somehow entered my system, even though I never like consciously, or like, I mean, by my own will, eaten any of these things. But maybe I was poisoned with that. I mean, because it's you should understand that it's very common in the Israeli intelligence circles, and I'm forcefully part of the intelligence circles all my life, even if I don't know about it. So I would suggest that, I mean, they have different colors, and they have different capabilities, and mostly I am almost certain that they cannot multiply. And so these are different kind of nanobots that have like different abilities, and perhaps, I mean, they have like important like abilities. We will see like how they treat energy, and I mean how they like use like how fire, I mean, affects them. It's a bit interesting, but they are limited in their maybe reproductive abilities, and regarding politics and one situation, of course, the clones are used, I mean, all my life to torture me. But you should always, I mean, ask yourself, who is the boss? And the boss are the Israeli Homo sapiens. They are the worst, and they should be annihilated. So my query is not with the clones, no matter how bad they treat me, because my problem is the state of Israel that should be destroyed, and the Homo sapiens people that subjugated different, like, you know, different races and species, and they should just, I mean, evacuate, I mean, their place in the world, in this world. Okay, so I don't want to like speak too much now, so I won't speak it. I mean, I'm not going to put like curse on the clones. I'm going to like I mean, on the contrary, I will like bless them with neos, like I mean the yellow ones that are, I think that will be better. I mean that if they had it in their body, I mean they will kind of like, they will certainly live longer, and perhaps they will find it. I mean, they can be freed from the subjugation of the Israelis, and perhaps not. I don't know. The most important thing, the slaves cannot really save themselves. Especially, I cannot save myself, and I don't think that they could save themselves. I mean, the people. I mean, the Homo sapiens should, intervene with what's happening in Israel, and they should do it quickly, and they should hit the mad dog, which is Israel, on its ass or head, and that's the way how the slaves will be freed. But on the meantime, I think that no matter how bad they treat me, we should also always remember who is the really bad guy, and punish the bad guys. And regarding those clones, bless them. And the only best that I can think about right now is just, that they will have like neos, that the ones that when they are pregnant they are yellow, and maybe it won't affect them much. But as I said, the most important thing is political intervention using force. I think that a proper way to actually represent the clones is with silver, like compartments, like me, because they're also synthetic. But the liquid should contain actually like the stuff, the brown stuff. And if I want to represent myself, I shouldn't like put brown stuff, because I don't think that I'm made of foam meat at all. Only so I should also put like neos, which means like my semen and saliva, and of course pee, and they could be enriched, but not in a way that creates and there is a specific way up. I can of course reproduce it, but not for now, because I still haven't enough to. I don't see the need. What I do is that I try to enrich like the neos. Here, using magnetic, the strong magnet, and also later I will add kinetic force. Using the enriched neos with the brown stuff. And also I also prepared a new relatively large canister. It's plastic. Cookie, an old empty cookie jar. And I painted it in proper colors, and also I placed mostly canola oil. I don't have much things. I have canola oil, so I use that. I almost ran out of beeswax. Beeswax is very, very important. For all sorts of stuff that can. It's as you already seen. They're mixed very well. They react very well with the neos, and they are used for several things in relation to energy and matter, and also they are crucial in the creation of the brown stuff, like the thing that you all want. Like, so it's very. One of its components is the neos can create probably everything from everything. They are amazing when they are the matter, but if you don't put like the correct matter, they will work very inefficiently. So and so I base my choice of matter, based on many things that I've done in the past, and also like common sense, and also what I currently have. If I don't have something, I can't use it. So it's mostly oil and a little bit of enriched beeswax that I still have, and also sugar, salt, iodine, and that's about it. And we'll put it, just there, to have the reaction. And later, I probably not today, because there is no need. I'll try to create like a even bigger like jar of the brown stuff. Of course, as I said, I'm not going to sell it, and I'm not going to give it for free. I'm a slave. I need to be rescued. But I do I'm into like burn it, like, and to use them burn this big fire. Supposedly I don't know if it's big fire. Like, I assume, from experience with the neos, that it's a big fire. Of course, all of this is will not take place today if I'm just fall asleep, because I'm dead tired. I need to just take things out of my bed, and it's mostly food and stuff. But so maybe it will be very soon, and I will continue tomorrow. We need to wait for for a couple of things like to materialize, and hopefully Also, I mean, we'll have new like all sort of like nero juices with and without the tar, the brown tar, and we'll maybe I'll create like a bigger like a canister, I mean, of the brown tar. So so the skeptics will see that, I mean, I can something that is reproducible and even in larger quantities, and I think I know how to do it. So let's stop here. I mean, really, it's all very. I mean, it's all overwhelming, and I mean, we can deal with the consequences. I mean, for a long time, but I mean, the important thing is that, I mean, I have one like population that I know that, I mean, they are my antagonists all my life, and they are the worst people that ever existed. And these are the Homo sapienses, males and females that, I mean, live in Israel, and I mean, have eaten my neros, and because there is a huge correlation between, I mean, doing it and being and like an immoral person that subjugate other species and do all sorts of terrors. So I mean, please, people all over the world, I mean, you need to run to Israel and to rescue me and my daughters from the Nazi prison. There is no excuse for this to continue. I mean, you've seen that now they treat me all my life. I mean, you've seen that. I mean, it's not a real trial. It's like a mockery of a trial. Worse than the most, like, I mean, manufactured and artificial Soviet trial that ever like existed. And you see that how I'm subjected to torture like wherever I am. So why do you need to know more? I mean, just come here and get me and my daughters out of this hell.